Hello, welcome back to my living room. We have a special guest here today. His name's Scrappy. He likes to hang out when we do yoga here. And like I was talking with my partner the other day about breathing, and it's something that I realized kind of like was one of those moments where a bunch of things click together. And so that's what I would like to talk about today. So when we say let your breath guide you, there's a couple of things going on there that need unpacking. So the thing that struck me is that sometimes it can seem like the breath, a good breath, is something that arrives by magic. It's like one day you're like, wow, my breathing is amazing, the practice is amazing. And yeah, that's amazing, that's great. But who's leading? Is it the breath leading? Or are you leading? But then if yoga is supposed to be the cessation of the modifications of the mind, are you really leading? Or you should let the breath lead? So the thought I had, and I think I realized it because I was thinking in a different language, and sometimes things become clearer when you can't really speak, is that the breath is like a navigational device, and you are the navigator. So in these two activities, one needs the other, right? So the navigational device means nothing if there's not a navigator there, and the navigator without a navigational device is a little bit lost. So how do you use this navigational device? It's not really extremely complicated technology, and yet it is, because we don't really know how to breathe nowadays. We know how to do all sorts of crazy, complicated, technical things, but taking a good breath can sometimes be like the most difficult thing to do. And I know everybody has different ways of looking at the breath and different ways of teaching it. And there are tons of books written about it by swamis and gurus, and everybody's got their different take on it. And who am I to be saying what I think about what a good breath is? I realize this. But then, on the other hand, I have what I've learned. And I can see how it affects my practice in my life. And so we can only teach what we know. So that's what I want to share. And to me, a good breath is indelibly linked to its sound. And I know there are other ways of thinking of this, but from what I've experienced, the sound is crucial. Because the sound is what connects you to the seed of the breath. So there's a particular sound that gets made as you're inhaling, and a particular sound that gets made when you're exhaling, when the breath is really a good breath. It's as if your body is a musical instrument. It is a resonance chamber. And when you're breathing in a way where you're channeling your breath through your body and you're trying to do something yogic, that channel resonates. And it doesn't resonate because you're tensing anything or you're constricting your throat or clutching your stomach. It happens like a flute makes a sound. Your lips are placed in the right way. The flow of air is to the perfect strength. And the whole connection of human to instrument vibrates and it resonates. And that's what the breath does when you're really connecting to your own breath in its strength and in all of its potential. And it takes a little while to find it. And it doesn't sound like Darth Vader. And it isn't something harsh. It's like the sound of the ocean. And the way you get at it is by moving inwards and letting go of worrying about techniques and different practices and sort of different sorts of gymnastics of breathing, and just getting in touch with what a cycle of breath is for you. So close your eyes. Maybe you're sitting on the floor, maybe you're sitting on a chair, it really doesn't matter. You want to feel an energetic connection from the top of your head down to your tailbone. And how do you feel that connection? In a really practical way. It's through the breath. So there you are with your eyes closed. And first, just with your mind's eye, scan through your spine, from your sacrum, through your pelvis, through your lower back, through your thoracic spine, through your neck, and all the way to the top of your head. And then go back down, from your head, down your neck, to your chest, your lumbars, your sacrum, to your tailbone. And then ask yourself, are there spots in my spine that I'm blind to? Maybe it's really hard to connect with your sacrum, or your roots, or the area around your heart. It's not a judgment thing, it's a reality thing. It's like, where am I right now? What can I see in myself, and what is really, really hard for me to connect to? And then what you do is, when you're breathing, just go there, to the spot you can't see, and start with that. So set yourself 12 cycles of breathing, where you're just going to send your attention, your intention, and your focus to, for example, your sacrum. And every time you breathe in, you're going to imagine, however is most visually accessible to you, your sacrum. Maybe in its bony structure. Maybe as energy files. Maybe you know how the design of the chakra is drawn. Maybe it's a color. However allows you to slowly, slowly feel that area more vibrant, more alive, and more present in your consciousness. Allow that to grow through the cycle of 12 breaths. And you could do this moving all the way up your spine. So physiologically, the chakras are lined right up with the pineal glands, the glandular system. And when you get into different dimensions of different sorts of x-rays that can be done, it actually happens that there's a greater concentration of iron around these areas that we call chakras. So there's something in this area of your body where, if you become conscious of it, this consciousness of these little energy centers lined up from Muladhara, from your roots, from your bottom chakra, all the way up to Sahasrara in the top of your head, that is that energetic connection that I was talking about at the beginning that you want to try to explore. So, just to go over them, I like to think of them as colors. Colors are what are most accessible to me. So when I do this, when I'm breathing, after I go in and I try to become conscious of each one of them, the chain of colors going up and down begins with red. Then in your sacrum, it's orange. Then around your belly button, it's yellow. Around your sternum bone, it's green. In your throat, it's blue. In the middle of your forehead, it's indigo. And the top of your head is white light. Light, indigo, blue, green, Manipura is yellow, Swasthihana is orange, and Muladhara is red. So, try. To meditate with colors. And let that be the first step of getting to know your breath. So you're breathing more vibrant color into every energy center, every glandular center, every physiological center, however you want to conceptualize it. There are 7. Base, your pelvic floor. Second, your sacrum. Third, your navel. Fourth, your heart. Fifth, your thyroid. Sixth, cranial hypophysis. Seventh, connection with the universe. And breathe.